One more, yes, sir. So the question is about, can you have, and I mean, I don't know if you want to take that, because it would be the Attorney General's office, that would investigate potential fraud about representations that were made about the shots. And here's the thing. It's one thing if you say, look, we're not sure, it's experimental emergency use, no mandate, but if you want to take it. But I do think there were people that were making these representations saying, oh no, pregnant women, it's fine. We know it's safe. We know it's, and they really didn't know that. And so they're saying these things, and anyone that had any concerns was basically be telling, you're anti-science, when in reality, this thing hadn't been around long enough to necessarily know. And so it's one thing to go into something and say, hey, we're in a pandemic, let's just make this available. But we're honest, we don't necessarily know every answer. They went beyond that, and they said, and higher up said, that this is safe for this. It's been conclusively proven. And I think they're doing, Joe, do you want to talk about, I mean, there's definitely been some stuff with menstrual cycles and some of those other stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Why don't you?
Sure.
And then if you want to talk about
Yeah, so we've had, as a scientist, I struggle with this because I went into medicine, I felt it was a noble profession, and there have been a lot of things that have not been noble that have been done by my profession, wittingly or unwittingly, over the last 2 years. So, one of these things that the governor brought up, the sort of menstrual pardon me, I don't have menstrual cycles, so I can't say the word. Menstrual cycles, for example. So, that's an example of something that many women, after taking the mRNA vaccines, noted a change in. And, you remember back early on, anytime anyone said anything, oh, I had chest pain afterward, or I had a fever and I couldn't go to work the next day, or, whatever the concern was, it was always pushed away and silenced and dismissed. And that's one that has been acknowledged. Even in its acknowledgement, it's been minimized. So the official response now from NIH is that yes, it can happen, but the menstrual cycles return to normal usually after 1 or 2 months, so it's fine. But then anyone who's thinking would say, well, why is it changing? Like, why is administration of this vaccine leading to menstrual cycle changes? And there are a number of adverse events that that have essentially been minimized or have not yet been investigated, when the obviously sensible thing to do would be to investigate them. So, fortunately, the governor's given me some latitude to pry into some of these issues, and we're doing that, and we're doing it well and in a way that will hopefully, bring some more truth and transparency to the safety profile of these vaccines.
And I'll just jump in here. I was going to ask my fellow participants if they could hear some of these questions. I am fearing my older age is preventing that, but I will go on based on what I think I heard from you. And it was a question about potential criminal investigation. I think I heard that word. And I'll just take this opportunity to sometimes I think part of my job is educating consumers and Floridians about where to go and where to report things, because sometimes people get confused and they really want that direction from those that are leading the state. And so in any instance, if you have information about any type of criminal activity, that would go to our statewide law enforcement agency. That's the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. We just appointed a new commissioner, Mark Glass, and I would advise that. But what I think you were asking, even though that word was in there, our lawyers look at oftentimes, and we do have investigators in the civil arena, to look at whether there has been false or deceptive or fraudulent statements surrounding pushing any product any consumer product. So I would always encourage on any matter, if anyone has a suspect that a claim in this regard, they can always call our office or go to myfloridalegal.com and submit information, because we do have people that look at that.
All right, guys, thanks so much. God bless. Appreciate it.